All right, all right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Happy and Moon. This game taking place here on Last Refuge version 1.5. Happy has spawned as, well, the blue knight, or blue night elf. Let me get my colors correct. Blue undead player on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Moon has spawned as the yellow Night Elf on the top right. Night Elf versus Undead 1v1 matchup game getting underway. Hopefully it does not disappoint. I am horribly backlit. It is middle of the day as well. Happy gonna go ahead use this ghoul to try and aggro the creep camp. What is this? Moon purposely moving the wisp and now no longer having an Ancient of War. All right, I'm glad I didn't fast forward through the first 2 minutes of this matchup here as the Wisp hides himself in the middle of a forest. All right, interesting choice there. A Wisp hiding in the middle of a forest. Difficult to spot and see as the, well, Ghoul now making its rounds out as well. Keeper of the Grove gonna be the primary hero in this matchup here, going up against what I assume to be a Death Knight. Getting some alerts on my new smartwatch. Yes, my new smartwatch letting me know things, well, keeping me posted about, well, things happening around the world and work that I could be doing a little bit later. Anyways, we can see that there is a second Moonwell being placed down here. Is Moon going to go into a very fast tech to tier 2? Before an Ancient of War? I'm trying to figure out the strategy that Moon is well, developing on the fly here. We can see an Ancient of War now being placed down. There's that Ancient of War. It is going to take a little bit of damage from that Ghoul. The Ghoul is perhaps going to try and aggro the creeps back over. Keeper of the Grove is now out here on the battlefield. There's going to be an entangle, and suddenly this Ghoul is going to be suffering quite a bit of damage. All right, damage is starting to rack up there. One more final shot, it gets taken out. Meanwhile, this Ancient of War, well, no longer being targeted as we see Moon still training up more and more Wisps. All right, Death Knight now may try and make a round out here, perhaps try and put pressure onto some of these Wisps, as I believe Moon is going to, well, sitting on a large amount of resources. He hasn't trained a single army unit, sitting at 20 over 30 supply. Still needs the Moonwells, though, because of how, well, Night Elf healing works. You often have to get at least 3 Moonwells early on. Otherwise, you're going to be on the receiving end of a low hit point or potentially dead hero who isn't able to heal back up. All right, what's going on? Wisps now making their way down here. We can see an Ancient of War is up. We are teching the tier 2 fairly quickly, a little bit faster than normal. As the Keeper of the Grove turns back around, is the Death Knight going to try and go up against the Keeper of the Grove, exchanging blows again, as the Keeper of the Grove with that little bit of range able to get in those attacks early. Meanwhile, on the southern side, army of ghouls, while being brought off the lumber line to clear out this green creep camp. Death Knight is on the board with some experience, already has a circuit of nobility, and well, should get get closer to level 2 here. Death Knight did sell that Scroll of Town Portal, and what is this? Now finally, at the 3-minute 45-second mark of this matchup, are we actually seeing the units trying to engage? Dual archers here, entangled over treants, so that's going to really disrupt the Keeper of the Grove's ability to try and clear out creep camps quickly by summoning units. But we could also be going into Thorns or perhaps to try and help against this large swarm of ghouls. All right, more damage being done here. Moon sitting at 24 over 40 supply. There's a Hunter's Hall being placed down, most likely to try and get that Ancient of Lore a bit later. Death Knight going up against the Forest Troll Trappers here. That's going to get taken down. Death Knight now gets up to level 2. Ogre Magi going to go ahead and summon up as well. Ogre Magi now taken out here. All right, Ring of Protection +4. So for those of you guys who do not know, the Ring of Protection gives effectively 24% more effective hit points total. Now, if you already have some armor, it's not like exponential, it's logarithmic. So So that is the reason why I say a potential hit points. So right now we're at, what is that, 7, nearly 8. 8 times 6 is 40, about 48 to 50% more effective hit points overall. So that's that there. Meanwhile, Ancient of War going to be trying to come back around the other side. There is another stone there. Rock Golem going to easily get cleared up. Is the Rock Golem going to fall at the hands of the archers? Should end up falling at the hands of the archers, or the Keeper of the Grove picks up a robe of Magi +6. And suddenly the Keeper of the Grove is now a hard-hitting ranged unit. With that +14 additional damage, now upwards of, what is that, 45 range damage. That is in fact very, very heavy, stronger than you would normally expect for the Keeper of the Grove at this point and stage in the game. All right, Keeper of the Grove now trying to make his way back here. Remember, he is probably only hitting normally about 28, so every attack dealing 50% more damage on average. That's actually better than, say, critical strikes, which only proc at a small amount but deal double damage here. So yeah, 100% chance of 50% bonus damage. That is in fact a very hard-hitting Keeper of the Grove. Suddenly, as the Keeper of the Grove could easily entangle a unit and then cause some problems. Death Knight with that Unholy Aura able to catch up against that Keeper of the Grove there. Death Knight, Unholy Aura, Death Coil, and then an auto attack there. Suddenly, the Keeper of the Grove already down to 287 hit points. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter off to the front, opting to go for evasion first. Death Knight wants to go ahead and scout this out as the Keeper of the Grove takes a Frost Nova, taking a lot of damage. Is the Keeper of the Grove just going to teleport back home, get some Moonwell juice, heal back up? Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter may try and finish off this Forest Troll Berserker here. Keeper of the Grove now going to make its rounds as well. Hasn't chosen another ability as of yet, as the Forest Troll Berserker was ensnared. All right, there's that dual Ancients of Lore. There's that Tree of Ages. Meanwhile, Lich is back onto the bottom side here. Moon actually seems a bit behind. Normally, you have a much higher level Keeper of the Grove. You can see that now it is level 2 Tree Ents, so not going to go for Thorns or just summoning up the Tree Ents. And now the Demon Hunter coming across here as well, going to be able to get in a little bit of damage. Demon Hunter looking to get to level 2, and with if he does go for Mana Burn and Wand of Mana Stealing, can perhaps get in a couple of surprise mana drains onto the enemy heroes, and with that, perhaps shut down this mid-stage game that undead players often rely on those mid-game spells. Vampiric Aura also for that Death Knight here, as the Demon Hunter sitting at level 2, looking to get to level 3. Level 3 absolutely important for that level 2 mana burn, being able to burn that extra bit of additional mana, making such a drastic difference overall, as the Forest Troll Berserker now getting taken out. Both Goblin Laboratories getting cleared up. Lich sitting at level 2, Death Knight sitting at level 3, trying to get closer to level 4. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter will get to level 3, so dual level 3 heroes going up against a level 4, level 2, who will come out on top if these two armies, perhaps try to go up against each other now. 42 over 50 supply compared to 43 over 50. We are getting some Druids of the Claw out on the battlefield, some rejuvenations perhaps, as the Death Knight with Vampiric Aura bringing in a bunch of Crypt Fiends as well, piercing damage. Vampiric Aura topping off all of these ghouls, and that may not seem like very much, but remember, one thing to consider: Obsidian statues often drain out their mana trying to keep these ghouls always topped off. Now, with the way things are going, these Obsidian statues can just provide pure mana. As we now look to the southern side here, Ogre Lord easily going to get taken out here. And are we going to perhaps see a Scroll of Town Portal or a retreat back? Cloak of Flames, Immolation, Scroll of Town Portal now on the way back here. Are we going to see the Ogre Magi get mana burned down? He ends up going down to 2 hit points and surviving. Now, we're going to be looking at an engagement here, trying to defend. Moonwalls are all here. Dryads continuing to poke around. Are we going to get some easy damage? Well, there goes one a poor tree ant getting devoured magic. And that little bit of experience, is that going to be the difference? Ogre Magi not getting taken down at and being left alive at 2 hit points. Are we going to see a mana burn? Yes. Lich gets mana burned there. Ogre Magi, is he getting healed back up? Yes. Forest Troll, High Priest draining off all of that mana. Cloak of Flames, items being transferred around. Keeper of the Grove still sitting at plus 14 auto damage and now needs to make their way down here. Death Knight clears out the remainder of this creep camp and, well, should give level 3 to the Lich. That is going to be a big bonus. Level 4, level 3, level 1 going up against dual level 3 heroes. Demon Hunter, however, does now have access to Orb of Venom as a Dryad quickly, well, runs into the fray only to get cleaned up. 50 over 50 supply, trying to replace that Dryad. Are we going to see some Treants try and engage? No, calling those Treants a bit early. And now what is going to go down? Repair onto those Wisps, perhaps. No, not going to be able to keep that Moonwell alive. 49 over 50 supply as the Moonwells are starting to get a little bit low. All right, Death Coil, Frost Nova, Demon Hunter on the wrong side of these Moonwells. Gonna have a difficult time here as they're trying to get in some cleanup. Meanwhile, Devour Magic onto all of the Treants. More Treants springing up out of the ground. Staff of Preservation not even going to be bothered to be used as Happy has 4-3-2 heroes now going up against dual level 3s. Demon Hunter trying to make things happen as we see, well, mana burn going across multiple units again and again. All right, units trying to retreat back. More units ending up falling. 36 supply compared to 50. Happy absolutely playing with Moon right now as we are looking at perhaps a couple of low hit point units about to get cleaned up. Demon Hunter could be in a little bit of trouble. Down to 103 hit points. He's going to get Staff of Preservation back home, I believe. Needs to get healed back up. Meanwhile, the Keeper of the Grove retreating back as well. Demon Hunter needs to find a way to heal. Will heal up off of these Moonwells, but needs to get some Druids of the Claw and some rejuvenation for some long-term longevity. 51 over 70 supply going now further into low upkeep as Happy backs off, needs to perhaps get some Obsidian statues, and once he has some Obsidian statues, should follow up for the kill. Ring of Protection +4 on that Death Knight. There is that Obsidian statue going to re-top off these enemy heroes. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter off to the north here. He's going to try and clear out this Forest Troll Trapper creep camp. No, he is not. And Moon just seems to be in a very difficult situation, unsure of how to proceed. All right, Entangle finding a ghoul in a transit, going to be able to finish it off. There goes one ghoul. Is he going to try to finish off another ghoul here? Nope, unable to get the Entangle off in time as it turns the corner. 48 supply compared to 58. Army sizes show a drastic difference overall. Death Knight now up to level 5. And I believe the writing is on the wall here. Short of a catastrophic mistake and unraveling by Happy, there's not much that really can be done. There is enough Crypt Fiends to deal with the Dryads, and there's a rejuvenation. We're going to see a quick Devour Magic there, and suddenly the Demon Hunter already down to 321 hit points. Demon Hunter does have Orb of Venom, has the ability to attack those Destroyers, but those Destroyers are still able to maintain their mobility. No way to slow them down outside of slow poison. And, well, that slow poison is just not going to be able to reach its target. Coming back around here, Death Knight. Well, Lich, level 4. Naga Sea Witch, level 3. Armies ready to push. 62 supply compared to 43. Even with home field advantage, it may not be enough. This is all very tight here. Happy forcing that early Ancient of War destruction and then having that slight advantage. There's a mana burn. Demon Hunter already down to, well, a sub 200 hit points. Gonna go ahead and drink some Moonwells, try to push their way back through. Needs to get some more Death Coils off onto the Death Knight as he's now trying to fight back. He does have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. He needs to drain more Moonwells as the Dryads are now trying to push in from the other side here. There's some more Devour Magic across those Treants, trying to open things up. Units are trying to retreat back again, and, well, Demon Hunter gonna fall back here. Needs to drink more Moonwell juice as one Moonwell gonna fall with 128 mana inside. Little bit of lost hit points that could have been sitting on the Demon Hunter again. Meanwhile, Staff of Preservation saves another Druid of the Claw. But even though Happy is getting pinched on both sides, well, he really needs to perhaps try and take out these units as they are getting lost in transit, or well, trying to get in a transit again. And Demon Hunter simply walking back once more, but the Cloak of Flames not enough to keep this army going. There's a rejuvenation onto a Druid of the Claw, who gets back into Druid form, ready to jump into the fray. But 51/50 supply, 2 Moonwells lost, and Moon's just constantly trying to staff for preservation. But this is just Happy pressing his slight advantage, and well, will snowball once Moon tries to engage. There goes another Druid of the Claw. Crypt Fiends purposely burrowing as well, and as they're burrowing, they're just buying time again to pick apart the Dryads, and that was a one-sided battle throughout. Take a look at the category, nearly doubling the hero resource score. And when your opponent's third hero is the same level as your first and second hero, well, that is just a bad position to be in. Ultimately, even the unit score nearly double the not double, sorry. Not double the difference, but I think if they actually fought each other till the end, it would have been double the difference there. Let me know what you guys thought about this game, what Moon could have done to get back into this game, or was Happy's lead just too insurmountable? Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.